Hi, Mike. Hey, Woody. Hello. You're the only other person here at the moment. Oh, we got three people in here. Well, guys, you may notice up top of the chat right there, I have the StreamYard link. I have the StreamYard link pinned up there. If you guys want to come into the studio and join me in the studio for open mic night, as you know, I decided to do this today. If you'd like to join me in the studio, just click up top there on the link, and then you should be able to find yourself to come in. Hey, Leto, Camp Mike today, Mike. No AC, and right now, me and the wife are sharing the same room, and she's trying to say, "Oh, okay. Well, that kind of sucks." Sucks in that, well, I hope you'll at least watch and enjoy the show, at least, if I can get anybody in here, of course. Um, yeah, so let's see now. And of course, I wait for more people to show up, and hopefully, some people will decide to pop into the studio here. Yeah, it's 87 degrees in my apartment. Oh, and you have no AC, huh? Oof. And I know you're like 2 hours ahead, so it's like 9 o'clock where you're at, right? And then Leto says, "Hey, Woody." What about? Well, let's see. It looks like we have four people in here now. So, again, if you guys check up top there, the link is pinned up top there. If you want to join me in the studio tonight to chat about whatever niche, comic, anime, manga, cartoons, pro wrestling. 369. Take it you have a window unit in your wife's room. 369 12 15 18 21 24 27 30. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Then there's three in the family. Then there's three in the family. No window unit, just the window open. Oof. And of course, you're in Texas, and it can get pretty hot there. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Then there's three in the family. Then there's three in the family. 369 12 15 18 21 24 27 30. Hello, Mike. Leto, Woody. Hey, TC, you gonna come in and join me tonight? The links up top there in the chat. So if you want to come into the studio and join me for open mic night. Hello, Toys from Leto. And then Human 2, hello, Toys from Woody. 369 12 15 18 21, 24, 27, 30. And there's 3 in the family. Yes, there is. 3 is a magic number. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. And there's 3 in the... I'll join if Woody and Leto join Laugh Out Loud. Well, Leto already said he couldn't because apparently he's sharing the same room wife and she's trying to sleep right now. And there's 3 in the family. I won't be toys. I'm sharing the room with my wife. AC is out. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Then there's 3 in the family. Then there's 3 in the family. Lies. That out loud. Then there's 3 in the family. Wish I was. Ah. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Then there's 3 in the family. Then there's 3 in the family. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Yes, there is. There's a magic number. Yes, there is. There's a magic number. Wife worked, she's asleep, and I'm by the window. Sucks. Sorry, Mike. No problem, but it is kind of hard to have an open mic night, at least with the way we do it when I have no one to really converse with in the studio here that we can play off of, you know. So how'd your weekend go, guys? Action, Toys and Woody, you guys can still come in. I mean, Woody, I'm pretty sure you probably have some wrestling memories you'd like to share. Oh, that's not good. Found out my liver is failing and my heart's worse, huh? Jeez. Oh, that's not good. So, Toys, does that mean you're going to probably have to start going on dialysis then? What's the cause? Oh, here we go. Hey, Woody.
Hi.
Hello.
I couldn't watch you suffer anymore alone there, Mike. So
thank you. It's kind of like with the way of course I do the open mic night. I do it as kind of a panel, but it kind of doesn't work if there's nobody else to kind of play off of. You know what I mean? I can only talk, unless I can only like improv so much or ad lib so much.
you fill up whatever 8 or 10 hours a week already, just on air time.
Yeah.
And you do
well, yeah. I mean,
too?
I do 5 nights a week on my own, and then on Sunday nights, of course, I'm on. I mean, I was on RJ, on Critical Blast last night as well. So I mean, I'm doing 6 nights a week of camera work here. A lot of it's just research and like I'm not on dialysis. I'm not dialysis bad yet. And, I guess he was answering my question earlier. Maybe take it easy on the liver.
Let's see.
Hey, Woody, you're a gorgeous man. You get a haircut, Woody?
No, I just dunked my head in the sink, so it would be wet instead of greasy. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew something was up there.
If I had a comb, I'd comb it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Alibaba. Yeah, man. Lots of fun, Mike. I'm going to see if I can connect to you here on my computer so I can participate in the chat. How about that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I usually have multiple windows open here, multiple tabs open. I have one that's open to the YouTube where, of course, I have the link up in the chat there. I have it pinned in the chat there for anybody who wants to join in. And then StreamYard, and then I have the StreamYard link here, and then I have this week, of course, I don't have anything bounding today I don't, because with me deciding to make it an open mic night, I didn't have to look up any news stories. I just, because I figured if we got 3 or 4 of us in here, we'd probably get a good conversation going. Of course, I figured. Yeah.
Sounded like Toys said he would join if some other people did, didn't he? I think he said that.
Yeah, well, he said that if you and Leto joined, then
okay. So we haven't met the full Boolean proposition yet. Huh.
Yeah, so
let's see.
Leto had something. I don't know if you see this or not. Oh. Where'd you go, Woody? Woody's hair looks like my hair, only it's sweat. Dang it. Looked like he stepped out. Well, I hope you'll be back. I mean, it's not, it's just a matter of just opening up 2 different tabs, and then you can have the one tab open to YouTube and the other tab open to StreamYard. So hopefully he'll be back. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Then there's 3 in the family. There we go. He's back. And Daddy had a little baby.
Oh, yeah.
And there's 3
Google security had to make sure that it was okay. I'm trying to log in from another place, and you can't just let that happen. It's like Windows 11 won't run on your computer because they're gonna lock that thing down. Woo! Oh, I got double talk, happy talk.
Okay, so Woody, what you do is go over to your YouTube window, click on that, and then mute your YouTube. You know how to mute the YouTube?
Who's making all that racket? Yeah. So I started talking to Blue Streak. Yeah, I couldn't get back in. Whatever. It was triggered a bunch of security alerts. Got to have more security. Got gotta have more security. Like I've been reading about the Windows 11. You know, it basically won't run on your computer unless your computer is practically brand new.
Yeah. Well, I use my laptop here, so it's like, so I think that could be part of it.
Because of all these new security chips they put on to make sure that everything's hunky dory for them to spy on you. And make sure you're not looking at any unlicensed anime or anything, you know.
Well, let's see. Leto is asking me how was my week, and then Mikeception. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but he got embarrassed by my comment and left. Actually, this is what. So, hey, Woody, you're gorgeous, man. That's what I was trying to allude you to earlier.
Oh yeah, that's obvious.
Woody's hair
you should have seen me 100 pounds ago.
Yeah. Okay. Woody's hair looks like my hair, only it's sweat. Dang it! That was from when he got embarrassed by my comment and left. Laugh out loud. And then, how was your week, Mike? Mikeception. Well, my weekend was pretty much fine. I think pretty much everything that happened. You guys were, like on Friday, of course, Backgoat and I did the historical comic retrospect. We looked, at some stuff from DC, some of the stories from DC on Friday. Saturday, I pretty much spent most of the day watching, I guess technically it'd be listening because they don't actually have visuals of those on the radio, old baseball broadcast on YouTube. And then yesterday, of course, I eventually went on, Critical Blast RJ's live, open mic night. So you guys know I've been doing that, for the last couple months. So hopefully you guys will come on by there on Sunday night. And so you're walking around the house there,
I've worked there a couple of times, but yeah, I haven't said hi yet. But I like the show. Yeah, I was hanging around for that UFO lady because.
I think I saw you there for that one. I dropped in there. I missed it. Let's see. I had a lot of work to get done at workplace since starting today is my vacation. Oh, so today's your vacation. So, Leto, how long is your vacation then? And does that mean that you will actually be able to join us for more of the broadcast over however the time your vacation is? So Woody, you know what I was singing right there, right?
No.
That was from school. So you don't recognize this song. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Then there's 3 in the family. Then there's 3 in the family. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. You never heard that song before?
That's a lot of people in the family, though.
That's Schoolhouse. Well,
there's some voids in my cultural education.
Maybe you had already outgrown it, but that's from Schoolhouse Rock. Multiplication Rock 3s.
Oh.
Let's see. Okay, we already saw that. 9 days. Yeah, hopefully we get our AC. Oh, that's got to be, you go on vacation and your AC gets busted at the same time. That's got to be Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah, got it. Schoolhouse Rock Leto was a project that ABC did back in the 70s and early 80s. There was like Multiplication Rock. There was America Rock, which was basically history. You had Science Rock and Grammar Rock. It's like had all, they basically did a bunch of and these were usually played in between the Saturday morning cartoons. So, they'd have a number of different songs for, multiplication rock. They had, there was Zero, My Hero. There was Three's the Magic Number, which let's see. There was also there were a lot of them. It was pretty popular back then. So, then I just realized too, Woody may have already outgrown Saturday morning cartoons by then. So you may not have been watching it because they were in the 70s. So.
Oh, I was still watching some of them on Saturdays. Yeah, I always did like them.
Yeah. Well, I know I talked
about. They were better in the 60s, though.
Yeah.
more anvils falling on heads and stuff. You can't do that now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Woody looks like he's fixing to abduct us to make a human centipede. Take toys first, Woody. Yeah, well, I mean, if you remember, Hanna-Barbera came.
I love you too.
Yeah, some of it came out on Saturday mornings, but a lot of it was in syndication. A lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff that came out in the 60s. Yeah, Yogi. Well, you started out with, of course, Huckleberry Hound Show in '57. Yogi Bear was a part of that, and then he became so popular, he got his own show, I think, in '60 or '61. The Flintstones and the Jetsons each came out, as well as Top Cat. Those were all, as I recall, those three actually started out as evening cartoons. In fact, the Flintstones was kind of a animated version of the Honeymooners.
They were pressuring the networks to put educational content. So all those Schoolhouse Rock.
In the 70s,
effort to mollify the regulators. But I don't know. I think anybody that was depending on that for their education be in trouble. Of course, we're seeing the results of all that now, aren't we?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Schoolhouse
marching out on the streets that think everything was perfect 100 years ago. Why did you guys mess it up? Because they never learned history. They think that mankind's history was 10,000 years of peace, love, and bliss until this bunch of people came and ruined it. That's what
Schoolhouse Rock was actually pretty good, though, Woody. Talking about the melting,
the noble savage. They had it figured out.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Schoolhouse Rock was actually pretty good in terms of there wasn't no kind of CRT or anything like that. They just put it out there as what it was, The shot heard round the world, start of a revolution. I'm just a bill up on Capitol Hill. So, we actually have another. Like Toys is joining us. Hey, Toys. Hey, ATC.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
All right. So at least now we got 3 people in here.
Yeah. I'm just writing down Leto's name.
In the death note?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. That's where I keep all my numbers for my diabetes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like Woody's having some problems there, it looks like.
Oh. Yeah. So how you guys doing?
All right. Oh, by the way, a bit of the open mic with Critical and you, Mike. It was crowded. I didn't know who to listen to. I had to drop and get back to work. Yeah, it was a little. Yeah, we did have quite a few people there. Hey, Woody, you all right?
Yeah.
Oh, now
there we go.
There we
go.
Oh man.
Okay, you might want to turn your camera back around. Oh boy, I guess he's having some technical issues there. Yeah. Yeah, I even sent out the share. I even shared. Oh, Woody's back. See now.
I can't handle it. I see Toys is already quite. Yeah. You've had enough? I haven't. Got a bottle of vodka though, so.
Well, you got your camera turned around towards the screen and not towards you. Oh, so apparently this is saying device not. I guess he. I'm just gonna kick that from. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
I just cannot. All right. I keep hitting the front of my phone, and the phones are like gigantic buttons now. It's like, you can run anything you want on your phone, but don't hit the screen. Any spot of it will do something weird, because it's all button. Don't touch the front of your screen. If you touch it, all will be lost. Anyway, I've never been very good. So,
yeah, just a little choppy there.
Yeah. My connection's not too hot, so.
You're using your phone, aren't you, for that? Is that might be it? Are you using your phone or using your computer as your?
I'm using my phone.
Right.
I don't want to try the computer. I'm going to give up. Actually, is what I'm going.
And he left us again. Yeah. So, hey, Toy. So what's been going on with you? So you were just telling us that your liver and liver and your heart's not doing too well.
Yeah. I just got diagnosed after I got my new doctor. So. Kind of a hereditary thing, so I was not too surprised by it. But yeah, doctor's like, yeah, you got to cut out the alcohol, you got to change your diet. I'm basically going. He's like, here's a list of what you can eat, which was a lot smaller than the list of what you can't eat. So I was like, all right. And yeah, my heart, I got more heart medication, up my doses. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Freaked out my wife quite a bit. She was in there with me.
What, they were telling you to cut out so weren't you already having medical problems to begin with prior to this diagnosis?
My heart was already bad, and that was it. And I already had diabetes, so I wasn't too. Yeah, but
as I always understood, diabetes and heart issues are not really the best thing to have. Looks like we have a third person here. The first rank level. Hello.
There we go.
Okay, we have the first rank level.
I bet you that's Addie.
Huh?
I wonder if that's Addie. She said she wanted to join us at some point.
Well, they just left. Eat a little healthier, my friend. That's what.
No, I will not eat healthier, Leto. You eat healthier.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of interesting, if nothing else. Just the thing with and even I boomer at times. Even last night on Critical Blast, when I was trying to pull up a window to share and stuff like that, and I kept barely kicking myself out of the studio because I'd forget to open up a spare window, what have you. I don't. So anyways, let's see. Okay, so I'm just trying to think here of what next to talk about, because I know we're right now just chit chatting because we're just need a little help, so we saw that. Oh dang it! But my heart's fine. Okay. So now ATC
yeah.
Up there in Canada where you're at, I know they have YTV. I know YTV is, I guess, kind of the Cartoon Network for the Canadians. But Did you guys have like Saturday morning cartoons up there?
Yeah, yeah. You could wake up and on Kids TV, Fox TV, YTV. You could watch Saturday morning cartoons. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. Oh, Drainer Gang Boss.
Hello, Drainer Gang Boss. How you doing?
Hello and welcome to the Mikestand.
Mm-hmm. Don't you have anything to say there, Drainer Gang Boss?
Yeah.
Well, maybe as we converse a bit, maybe he or she, whoever it is, will add in. So like, what were some of the Saturday morning cartoons that you grew up with?
I watched quite a bit of what do you call them? Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer, Porky, all those fun characters.
The Warner Brothers.
Coyotes. Yeah, a lot of Warner Brothers. DuckTales, stuff like that. It was a lot of fun though, just to watch it.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, I think I kind of know already, but just want to double check. If you don't mind me asking this, how old are you?
I am as old as I look.
Okay, I was under the impression you were like my age, and I'm like 45, so
I
figured you were.
I look much older when I have facial hair.
I was always under the impression you were, as I said, you were like around my age or something like that. But
I don't ever tell anyone my age.
Oh, that might have just been my observations, though. But then, based on some of the things you were saying, though,
I still watch I remember like the original Superman cartoons. Those were fun to watch, and they came out. I think my favorite one at the time, well, that's the Silver Age, I think it was, but it was when Batman had to fight the giant robots and this crazy scientist. That was fun to watch.
Yeah. So Leto has something about Saturday morning cartoons don't run no more. That's true. Well, yeah, that's true for a couple of reasons. I watched a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons, which were on Fox Kids a lot. Yeah, I do remember that. He's mid-30s, I think.
My wife's is in her 30s.
Yeah.
I'm older than her, though. I ain't gonna say how old.
Well, just because I know, like, with you just saying that, like, with a lot of the references you made, I figured you were around my age because based on some of the references you've made in the past, I figured you would have probably been watching a lot of the same stuff I was, so that's why I thought you were like my age based on, like you said, DuckTales came out when I was, late 80s. So I was like going from elementary to high school at that point. So, yeah. So, but then even if that is the case, let's see. I don't know, because I don't know if you would have had ABC. You would have probably may have had another station or whatever, but I don't know if you had Schoolhouse Rock up where you were, probably, right?
Well, the thing is, we live close to the border, so I was picking up some American channels, not a whole lot. Yeah, so I was like I could wake up at 2:00 in the morning here and watch the Herculoids and Space Ghost and stuff like that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, those things are already, like, when I was a kid, those were already in fact, let's see, DuckTales and Chippendales for me, and I know you've said you're in your 30s there, Leto, and I know that would have been around, because that would have been late 80s, early 90s right there. So,
DuckTales, ooh.
Yeah, so, but as to your point, Leto, Saturday morning cartoons don't run anymore, and they haven't run for like the last 10 years or so. I think like by 2010, essentially what happened is that the popularity of Saturday morning cartoons had actually just started to drop off. There was a combination of reasons. I don't know if it's the same if it was the same up in Canada or not. That you'd know more about that. But here in the States, what was going on was you had kind of a combination of things happening there. You had the situation where there was more and more of a push for educational programming, as Woody was just talking about. Where certain hours you had to commit like certain number of hours to educational programming. So, and that's how you ended up started getting more and more of like the teen shows like Saved by the Bell and California Dreams and Hang Time, and because they were teen comedies and they could like interject certain like message like I know obviously a drug say no to drugs episode was always a part of that city and then you also had and the three main networks here, NBC, ABC, and CBS, would contract with certain they would absorb other like NBC, for example, would use Universal, and then you'd have all these like more like educational programs like Safari for Kids and Bill Nye the Science Guy, that kind of thing. So you had that going on, and then with cable being the way it is, and you have all these different channels, you have all these specialty channels. Now you have like you have like 3, 4, 5 different cartoon type channels. And you have Nickelodeon, you have their family of channels, you have Cartoon Network and Boomerang, you have Universal Kids. So, what's the point of having 4 or 5 hours of cartoons on Saturday mornings if you can just turn to one of the stations that has cartoons 24/7? That's that was part of what led to the fall off in with the Saturday morning cartoon, because as cable expanded over the years, of course, you have more and more specialty channels, including cartoon channels. Even though I'm not too keen on most of the cartoon channels nowadays, because it's like even the stuff that's technically was founded on being like classic cartoon stuff, like Boomerang Channel here in the States. Now, Boomerang Channel is nothing more than just a cast-off channel for older Cartoon Network. It's like, okay, so since, like, for example, Dexter's Laboratory, still popular, but not popular enough to stay on Cartoon Network, so they just put it on, Boomerang, stuff like Johnny Bravo, all that. So, so... And as you notice, I'm trying to steer things more towards cartoons and stuff because of the fact, I know most of the time I've been talking a lot about comics lately, so I figured I wanted to try to hit some of the other niche topics this time around with people here. Yes. Okay. Yeah, kids don't know the simple joys of sitting in front of the TV with a cold bowl of your favorite cereal. Yeah. Yeah, I grew up on that too. Also, I liked Beakman's World. Yeah, there were some good live action shows. Beakman's World was one. Pee Wee's Playhouse was another. Captain Kangaroo. Now here, where I live in Southern California, we had one called Whitney and the Robot. Now that was a locally. Now, like throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and into the early 80s. I don't know. Again, if you had these up in your neck of the woods toys, but there were also locally produced children's shows that they would put on sometimes in the mornings. They weren't like on the national networks. They were local programming. They were like produced locally. So no cartoons, and everything being online forced kids to grow up mentally a little faster, which is sad. They are missing. Yeah, that's right. I mean, when you start talking about the idea of thinking that you have to talk to kindergartners about things like same-sex relationships, yeah, that's just I'm not kidding. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are some people out there who are sitting there trying to push for like, sex ed as young as like 5, in schools. It's like toys making weird faces, features. I think he's having a stroke. I'm worried.
Just trying to bug Leto.
Critical race theory. Yeah, that's one thing, but for small kids, yeah.
I just saw the other day that they're trying to, what the heck was it? They're making Bugs Bunny a icon for trans rights or something like that.
They've been doing that with a lot of trying to do that with a number of the characters and stuff. Well, some depending upon whatever woke agenda they want to try to push. So that's basically what they're trying to do there. But now here in the States, there's on my cable TV here, there's a channel called Me TV. I don't know if you get that up in where you live.
Me TV? I don't think so.
Me TV,
no.
yeah. Me stands for memorable entertainment. It's kind of a vintage type channel. It like shows a lot of like television from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You get stuff on there like
that actually sounds like something I'd like to watch. Me TV, you said it was?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of. Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffith, MASH.
I remember watching Andy Griffin. That was fun.
Yeah. So.
Me TV. Okay.
Well, to be fair, they can have him. Bugs trapped Elmer for the last time, taking the jokes too far. Do that in real life, you might get killed. Bugs. Yeah, I mean, well, the reason I brought Me TV up is because they actually have started to show older. So Monday, and I've talked about this too. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. I think initially there's like 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and then of course I get it out here at 7 a.m. in Southern California. But they have this show called Tune In With Me. It's one of those kind of live action mixed with cartoon. It's like they have live action segments with the host Bill, the cartoon creator and curator, and Toonie the Tuna, who's a puppet. And then they have a girl there who comes in either live or on their screen. And then, of course, during the show, it's an hour-long show. So what they'll do is they'll have the cartoons, and then in between the cartoons, they'll do like little segments, focusing on whatever. Kind of like the way Captain Kangaroo used to be in Pee-wee's Playhouse and stuff like that. But this one's focusing more on like cartoons, and they'll give like some cartoon history and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, then they actually have brought back the idea of Saturday morning cartoons in a sense, because on Saturday mornings from 7 to 10, like 7 a.m. it's Popeye and Pink Panther's party, and like from 7 to 7:30 they show a bunch of like Fleischer cartoons, primarily Popeye, but also some Betty Boop. And then 7:30 to 8, it's like a bunch of the DePatie, Freeling stuff, which was, of course, Pink Panther, the Aardvark. I don't think the Aardvark's been on yet, but like Roland Ratfink, the Inspector. And then at 8, it's like Tom and Jerry, and the MGM cartoons, Tom and Jerry show. And then Warner Brothers Hour at 9 with the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, hour or show. And that was the one that had the classic Saturday morning intro where they'd come out on stage, they'd be going, "Cut the lights, this is it, tonight, no more rehearsing or going apart, that kind of thing." So, and then they also on Sunday mornings from like 10 to noon, they have Flintstones and Jetsons on as well. But they have 3 Flintstone episodes and 1 Jetsons episode. Excuse me for a quick moment, because I think the sun's down low enough to where I can go ahead and make some.
Okay, Mike.
I'll be right back.
All right. So, guys, how's it going? So, in this segment of the stream, we are going to do a moment with action. Okay. So, all we're going to talk about is something that happened in Ashton's life. So, this past weekend, I was printing one of these guys, as you know, Foot Soldier. This is an arcade version that I made out of a retro one, or out of the original mold. Now, doing that, I like biggie size in my stuff, so I was printing a torso that was 33 hours into printing, and we had a power outage, so I ended up with this. Oh, he's missing his upper half, but it's all cool.
All right.
Where are you at, toys? I'm at home in my room with my dog.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, at least you didn't probably have was your dog? I don't know. Are you close enough to the border to where your dog would have been reacting to any potential 4th of July festivities, or
no?
Yeah, kids are a little away from the border, isn't it?
I think I'm like 30-40 minutes away from New York on my side, so the border, anyways.
Okay. All right. So
it is a shame, Leto. It was a big shame. 33 hours, and I'm just missing above the shoulders.
Yeah, so let's see now. Oh yeah, something I was thinking of asking here, for you to ponder. I guess you're the only one here, so you'd be the only one who'd be able to ponder this. But go back to your high school days for a moment and think about this. What would you do if you found out that your high school math teacher was a Yakuza heiress?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Is she pretty?
Like just say she's pretty much a new teacher. She's just starting up, just like right out of college or what have you. And you find out during the course of the year at some point that she's a Yakuza heiress.
I probably wouldn't care, because in high school I was all about hanging out with the ladies.
Now you do realize I was asking you kind of an anime question there.
Yeah, but I ain't going now. I ain't going there.
you know what anime I'm referring to?
Not offhand, but I can think of like 4 animes where there's like a gangster boss's daughter in school, and she's hanging out with her friends, and they don't find out till later.
Well, the anime I'm talking about is Goku-sen.
Goku-sen?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah. Well, that one came out back in I think 2004, I believe. So, but I know Central Park Media in New York, or not Central Park Media. What was it? NYAV Post actually dubbed that They did the dub. I'm like just recently started rewatching it, so wish there was a way to recycle the filament.
Yeah, that's Goku Sen. That's the one where she has the samurai sword and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, it's kind of an over the top, situational romantic type comedy. So basically, it follows the tale of Kumiko Yamaguchi, who is basically she's a granddaughter of the clan leader or the Yakuza clan, the Oeda clan. Okay, she's the granddaughter of the boss of and she's the Ojo and all that, and she becomes the acting Kumicho because he's having medical issues. But it's kind of like, but she has her own dream too. She had wanted to become a teacher, because she wants to affect kids' life. And it's one of those things where, and it's kind of an over the top comedy in a way because just of some of the outrageousness of it. You said you watch it, so you probably, if you have. I'm
having I'm picturing short hair and tracksuit. I don't know why. It's just hit me that way.
Well, yeah, she did have a tracksuit. She and the other. So the thing was at the beginning. So she and one other female teacher get hired on at an all boys school. Okay. The thing is that this all boys school, though, more or less, it's basically just about all delinquents. There's like one real smart kid there named Shin Sawada, who's the redhead. He's kind of the leader of the class. He's like the one that all the other students basically follow and respect. And then he's got his own little circle of friends. Like there's Kumai, who kind of the fat kid, with a
blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair.
Yeah.
And then there's Uchiyama or Uchi, who's kind of got black hair, kind of like this, and real high pitched voice for a guy. And then Minami's kind of the idiot, and then Noda is probably he's the one who wears the hat, the cap. Basically, she goes in, because the part of the reason she wanted to become a teacher is because she saw how two of her most loyal, so there's a couple of these guys in the gang named Tetsu and Minoru. They were abandoned by their parents, and basically they ended up joining the Oeda clan in part because she saw. Now, granted, these guys were not really cute. She, though, somehow saw them as cute. Like she thought, man, I would really like to have a couple of cute little brothers, albeit they weren't necessarily what most people would cite it. In fact, in the English dub, one of the underbosses is even telling her, "Wait, you think they're cute? You think they're cute? Only you would say that." Tetsu is another kind of on the chunky side. He's got some muscle as well, but kind of a bit more on the chunky side. Minoru is a little skinnier, but neither one of them is like too terribly bright. But it's kind of like an over. And then a big part of the show is her balancing her professional life and her Yakuza life, basically, without people at the school finding out she's a Yakuza heiress, basically. And there's this like vice principal who is in league with one of the owners of the school and trying to get it closed down so they could like sell it off and then become VPs at some conglomerate or whatever. It's like, but basically, she goes in as a teacher wanting to, help these kids, all delinquents, and then now, as I understand, because I haven't read the manga about it, but I've read a little bit about it, on Wikipedia and stuff like that, and there was even a live action version of this manga as well. And basically, it's hinted at in the anime, and I think it actually does happen more. It happens in the manga more, but the top student Shin and her do become romantically involved, and actually she ends up inspiring him to become a teacher as well. So, and a lot of humor is like in one episode there's a case where, well, you should be careful because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but you've said you've seen it. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
So, but a lot of the humor is just over the top. Now we're getting dim, so I'll be right back. I gotta go.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll read chat. All right, let's see. Yeah. Oh, I have no control over that. Oh, okay. Let's see. Little said, "Stop smirking, toys." Yes. I was reading chat, and every time I read it, I started smirking. So yeah, you got me. It's a fun anime. You have to try it out. I ain't gonna spoil it. I'll leave that up to Mike. But yeah, I recommend it. No, for these mermaid gangster girls, Leto, please tell me more about this fetish of yours.
Yeah. I was listening as I was doing the other stuff there. Yeah, Leto. I'll put it this way. I think you said that you watched Full Metal Panic Fumofu. If you've watched Fumofu and you like Full Metal Panic Fumofu, you'll like Goku-sen because they've got a lot of the, they're in both shows. There's a lot of like over the top humor there. It's like pretty outrageous humor. So, pretty funny show. But yeah, I was thinking about that because I remember I asked you and Leto like a few weeks ago when I was still watching Midori Days, what you guys might do if you found, your wives on your right, kind of attached to your hand, like they'd become your right hand basically, based on that anime. So, try to throw another one out there, see if you guys would pick up on it. So. Yeah, so right now, let's see. So my afternoon block I'm watching right now, I'm watching Batman the Animated Series. I've been going through the DC cartoons as part of my afternoon block. So they covered the LA time slot for that. And then also been watching One Piece. I started watching Pokemon a while back, and I'm right now up to Johto League I'm working my way through Johto League Champions again right now. I'm as I said, I did start watching One Piece a while back. I'm into that, and then I'm also watching The Law of Ueki, which is another interesting one. The idea of these celestial beings competing to see who will next reign supreme over the heavens as God. And the way they do it is by bestowing power upon, junior high kids, and then the kids battle it out, and the kid who wins, his candidate, his, as they call God candidate, becomes, the celestial king, and then the kid gets the power of blank, which means he basically have any wish he wants, any power he wants. So, don't know if you've seen that one before, but
I can't remember, to be honest. I literally just had to sit here and go through my terabytes and terabytes of anime to figure out what I've watched.
And then, and then my nighttime block. Let's see. Of course, as I mentioned, I'm rewatching Goku-sen. I think this may be my fourth or fifth time watching that one through. I first saw that when it was on Wham here in the States, Encore Wham here in the States, and caught some of it then, and then. And watch it, and then I'm rewatching Utawareru Mono, That's how I pronounce it. It's spelled UTAWARERUMONO. So try saying that word 3 times fast. That's an interesting one. Kind of a fantasy, sci-fi fantasy. Well, it's got some sci-fi fantasy aspects to it, but it also has a lot of like it has, well, from what I read on it a little bit, some of the background information, supposedly people think it's a fantasy in another world, but it's actually Earth sometime in the future after but the thing is that people are riding around on dinosaurs fighting each other with swords and bows and arrows and all that. And then the main character actually fights people off with a metal fan. Now, what I'm talking about now in martial arts, they use fans as weapons. Okay, with the type of fan, I'm not talking about like fan I have here in my room or fan you can just turn on. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the fans that like this. But in martial arts culture, they're used as weapons. You can use them to slice people or deflect stuff, and they're folding fans. So you can have it either as a stick, or it will flip out like that. So
fans like Katana has from Mortal Kombat.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's In fact, one of the things I saw in it, which was kind of interesting, was, and I didn't even think, I didn't even remember this from before when I watched it before, but he actually killed one of his people, one of his enemies, by just jamming the fan in its stick form, basically, right into the guy's throat.
Okay, crushes windpipe.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of interesting, but yeah, it's kind of got like a medieval, or like kind of feudal. You got kind of a feudal era feel to it, just set in the future, and and the people don't look like people; they look like kind of hybrids of people and dogs. They have like dog ears. They have like a dog tail or whatever. It's like. And supposedly this is set sometime in Earth's future. So that, and then I've been going through the Gundam series. I'm right now watching Mobile Suit Gundam 00, and then I just started watching the 2018 version of the Baki series.
That's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
The one that was made exclusively for Netflix is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, thus far, I find that I probably like the earlier one better than one back in 2005.
Oh, when he's younger, yeah.
Yeah. Not a fish. It's an anime about Yakuza mermaids, but daughter can walk on land. Oh, actually, I think I do know one you're talking about, Leto. My Bride is a Mermaid. I think it sounds like what you're talking about. Because I've watched that one before, too. That one is kind of a...
I wonder if Leto has seen Monster Girl Mizume. It's a good one.
And he's saying that he owns the Midori box set. I can't Mike Clef. He's talking about OnlyFans. All right, I don't even know what Leto's responding to there.
He was talking about when you were talking about the weapon fan, the bladed fan.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not crazy. Yes, that one.
Sorry.
Yes, I have. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I believe we have 3 people watching, but my counter says 2, so that's kind of annoying. And I guess Batgoat must be busy with some stuff around the house, and Woody, I guess, never came back either. So
they're both on the couch sleeping.
Yeah, I know. With them, it's like I know it's like 10 o'clock where they're at, so it's like actually 11 o'clock where you're at too, huh?
It's 5 minutes after. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired.
Yeah, let's see how long. So we've been at this just over an hour. Then, again, I wanted to talk about other because I know that most of the time when I'm doing the news coverage, it's almost predominantly comic stuff. It's not as much. The other. I do get some anime in there, but again, since those sites are comic related, of course, there can be more comic stuff. But anime and manga are usually connected together. So, hey, are there any like animes that you've been watching of late?
I'm happily watching. I got reincarnated as a slime season 2, part 2. That one. I've started watching. I got reincarnated in Slime World. I'm watching The Overly Cautious Hero. That one's actually kind of funny. I've just finished watching season 2 of How Not to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. I think that's what it's called. That one was funny.
Yeah, I haven't gotten those yet, but
yeah, and that So I'm a Spider, So What? That's been pretty good. I heard that this last episode or not, the number 24. It's on hiatus or something like that for a bit.
On hiatus for what?
It doesn't say. It just said that the last episode is postponed. It doesn't say for how long or whatnot. There's some people saying it's postponed indefinitely, and I'm like, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the other things I've talked about too is Toonami. Yashahime just made its Toonami debut, like not this past Saturday, but the week before. So, of course, before he passed away late last year, one of his last roles he was doing was doing Moroku again, Kirby Moro. I think I reported on his death last year. I don't know if you remember that, but from what I've seen, from what I've heard, they got Ian James Corlett to replace him doing Moroku for those. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing with Yashahime and also with the newer Hunter, because I've seen both Hunter Hunters now. I've seen the 99 one came out in 99 that only went up to the Yorkview arc, and then I've seen the newer one that was done on Toonami. This is my only real criticism of the 2011 one, for that, and even with the Yashahime here. I wish they'd gone, okay, so when they decided to dub the 99 Hunter, and when they, of course, and Inuyasha, with Inuyasha, they dubbed that up in Vancouver with Ocean Studios. And when they initially dubbed Hunter, the 99 version, Blue Water Studios did that, the Calgary group. That was like Caroline Day, Cole Howard. They let's see, the main cast was done with Eleanor Holt, Jonathan Love, Annika Ottegood, and Cheryl McMaster. Those are the ones. What I kind of wish had happened when they decided to dub the 2011 Hunter, brought those voice actors back and let them do it instead of having the LA crew. Not per se that I have anything against the LA crew or anything like that, aside from more recently with some of them, like DC Douglas has come out and been like just total SJW. I don't have an issue with their work. It would have just been nice for continuity's sake, and also just to give those people, because particularly Blue Water, you probably heard me talk about this before. There was at times there were like here in North America, you could say there was like 6 major dub companies. Okay, there was Funimation in Dallas. You had the LA-based voice actors who basically got their work through both, Bang Zoom, which Johnny Young Bosch was one of the part owners of that, and that's still active as well. And then Studiopolis would record some stuff for Viz Media. Viz Media, their distribution office is based in San Francisco, but they subcontract to they'll subcontract some of the stuff to LA, like Naruto and Bleach, Zatch Bell, or some of the stuff to Canada to either Ocean or Blue Water. I know Flame of Recca was dubbed for Viz by Blue Water. Solid's here. I finished watching Redo of Healer. Okay. Good to see you, Solid.
That last episode was pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah, so we're past the hour mark. Now we're at like an hour 10. I was hoping to have more people in here tonight, but I guess it just didn't happen this time. But
tell Leto to get out of bed and go to the bathroom and join us.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that now. Leto, you need to join us. Leto.
Join us. Mm-hmm. There was a song like that. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics.
Where did I put that? I will sit here and I will deep fake Leto today.
Yeah. Flame of Recca is also really... Yeah, Flame of Recca was dubbed by Blue Water. That was another one that was dubbed by Blue Water for Viz. I saw that one. That was another... You're right. That one was another good one. Scott Roberts did the English voice of Rekka Hanabishi, and then had some of the usual characters. Marriott Sluter voiced his mother. Caroline Day voiced Yanagi, who was basically the one that he kept saying was his princess. So, yeah. What?
I'm wearing Leto's complaining about the heat. I'm wearing a sweater and my house is just above 0. So
I've been watching Shiki. Is that show Simple Gear? Okay. Don't know if that one's been dubbed yet. Doesn't sound like it, but can't it's bleeping hot to go to another hotter room.
It's supposed to say forking. There you go. It's too forking hot. There you go. That's for Leto.
All right. Let's see now. Was there, in terms of needs, was there anything maybe you wanted to bring up, Action? Anything maybe you wanted to ask me or anything like that?
Not at the moment. I can't really think of anything. I forgot tonight was open mic night, so I was completely unprepared for it.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because you guys are always on me about having more of these, and I haven't. I almost ended up I almost ended up, just having nobody on at all. Woody tried to come in, and then you eventually came in. So
yeah, I had to get everything set up over on my end. I was like,
it hasn't, fortunately. Yeah. It hasn't. Yeah. Well, I'm more of a dubber, so. But I probably wouldn't. If it's a newer one, it's probably going to be a while, depending on who dubs it.
Mm-hmm. After a while, after you get it used to the subs, you don't even notice. You just don't even notice them anymore. It's just.
Yeah, but I can't. It's like, for me, again, part of it too is the experience, like having a Toonami experience and trying to watch them in that half hour block there. And I still end up stopping every few minutes because you got to go up to go use the restroom or other stuff's going on. But it's like, basically, like, for example, my Toonami block, I have that from like 2 to 4. But sometimes I have to go and use the restroom for a while. Yeah. And I end up, sometimes I'll end up watching stuff till like 4:30, 5 o'clock. But I don't necessarily want to do it like that. I want to do it to where, and if I was like sitting there having to stop and read the subs, I mean, now I've listened to some. I don't have a problem with the Japanese voices, okay, but what's the use of watching something if you can't really take in because you can't understand what's being said,
Mhm.
and then having to actually stop and read stuff, takes away from the experience even more. You know what I mean? So Toonami is just normie anime. Well, yeah. I mean, they did start showing Yashahime, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Though. Like a lot of stuff is more the mainstream stuff. That's more, but in a way, that's good because then the company, even though I think Funimation is the only one who's been accused of doing this, but where they're trying to put their own woke garbage in, trying to really. I don't know if it's something where, since they felt like they got away with it with ghost stories, but only because the Japanese had given them permission to do that because ghost stories was not really a big hit in Japan. So when ADV had licensed it, the Japanese just told us, yeah, you guys just do whatever you want with it because, wasn't really all that successful. So and of course, I don't know if any of you've seen the dub of ADV or the ADV dub of Ghost Stories, but they took a few shots at Bush. They took a few shots. It's like you did. They took a few shots at Christians, like with the character Momoko being the devout Christian and all that. So, let's see. You want to read that since that was you?
I thoroughly enjoyed the anime Ghost Hunt.
Ghost Hunt. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was a
talking
fun
more
one.
about ghost stories.
Mhm.
If I said Ghost Hunt, I meant ghost stories actually.
Mhm.
But
Well,
Ghost Hunt.
have you seen Ghost Hunt?
Yeah, I think I've seen it. It's the
All right.
one. Then you got like a psychiatrist involved, and I've
It's
only seen it once though, so I
it's
may not. And it was a while ago that I last watched it.
no, it's actually about a guy in his team who tried to disprove ghost stories, end up proving that they're real. Then
Oh, okay.
they solve them. Yeah.
And as part of that team, isn't there like isn't there like a Shinto priestess and a Buddhist monk as part of that team?
Yeah, a lecturous monk, yeah, and a worthless priestess, yes.
Yeah.
There's also a schoolgirl. There's
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember that. Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
maybe with the psychiatrist guy, I was thinking of Ghost Hound. I think there's another one
Mhm.
called Ghost Hound. Maybe that's the
Mhm.
one I was thinking of.
Yeah, and
So.
yeah. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Ghost Hunt. I enjoyed Musushi and a bunch of other things like that. I just had to be in the mood to watch them. But lately, I've been watching Isekai like crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm down this rabbit hole. I don't want to be here. I think Redo the Healer started that one on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing just froze there for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both froze there for a moment. Yeah, well, it does seem like things are kind of dying out here. Let's see. I think it might be a good time to start wrapping up because it just seems like it's
All
a
right,
slow night tonight. But let's see. I'll make a couple announcements here, and then we'll get to this day in each history, and then we'll wrap up. So the next, and this one you guys should be more thoroughly prepared for because this one you're getting a little longer. They're getting a little long, and I'll be reminding you. But the next open mic night will be Monday, September the 6th. Here in the States, I believe that will be Labor Day. And I hope as many of you can come in and join me in the studio as you can. I hope we can get 4 or 5 or 6 people in here because
that'd be pretty cool.
Well, the thing is that that's also going to be my anniversary. That's going to be the
Oh,
anniversary
wow.
of the mic stand. Yeah, so
That'd be
it was
pretty
on
cool.
Labor Day last year that I started the mic stand. So,
Oh, wow.
so hopefully you all will be able to join me then. And I'm giving you plenty of notice. So hopefully we don't have any like last minute shenanigans like we did tonight. But so that's coming up. And of course, this Friday, Backgoat and I will be looking at Ultem publication, the books that went on sale from Ultem Publications, which would eventually become Centaur, this Friday. So we're looking at Funny Pages, Funny Picture Stories, and Funny Pages, Volume 2, Number 5s, looking at like the Jack Strand feature. Actually, I can't remember the other Frank Furlow story that's in there but Abdallah and His Highness. So we'll be looking at 3 or 4 stories there. So with all that being said, and of course tomorrow night we go back to our regular format of doing the news, the niche news stories. So, so with that, guys, is everybody ready for this day in each history?
Yeah, history. Let's go. Come on.
All right.
We're going to give you so much history, you're going to choke on it.
Well, actually, I do have, I do have 4 notes on that tonight. So let's see. 16, just kind of remind myself of 1941, 1971, and 1951. So, all right. So without any further ado, then, let's take a look back on today being Monday, July the 5th, 2021. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. And our first stop is going to be going back 80 years ago. As on this date, 80 years ago, and you'll see it in a moment here. On this date, 80 years ago, on this date in 1941, which is 80 years ago, The Heckling Hare premiered on this date, was released on this date in 1941, 80 years ago, featuring Bugs Bunny and the dopey dog named Willoughby. It was directed, of course, by Tex Avery, written by Michael Maltese, and animated by soon-to-be director Robert McKinnon. Let's see. So instead of Elmer Fudd, Bugs is hunted by a dog named Willoughby, but the dog falls for every trap Bugs sets for him until they both fall off a cliff at the end. So on this date, 80 years ago today, the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes short, The Heckling Hare, would premiere, would be released on this date. And then I see that I said Nietzsche time. Nietzsche Mike, Nietzsche time. All right, so with that, we'll go on to that. So do you remember seeing that one, or you said you watched a lot of Looney Tunes stuff?
Oh, The Heckling Hare?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think a lot of that stuff over the years is kind of hard to remember which.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the next piece of history then. As we go to 1951, which is 70 years ago today, as on this date in 1951, 70 years ago today, from Standard Comics, the 45th issue of Goofy Comics went on sale on newsstands. This is not having anything to do with Walt Disney. That's not even Goofy the dog, as everybody knows it. This is probably something just totally different. But Standard Comics, Goofy Comics number 45 went on sale on this date for 10 cents. It's 32 pages. So on this date, 70 years ago today, 45th issue of Goofy Comics from Standard Comics went on sale. Standard, of course, was a company at that point in time, obviously. 40s and 50s there. So, anyways, moving on to the next piece in each history. Let's see. As we now head back just 50 years ago today, as on this date in 1971, Dean Higuchi, who would later go on to the WWF as Dean Ho and team with Tony Garea to win the WWF Tag Team Championships, would team with Stephen Littlebear to regain the NWA Canadian Tag Team title from the Skull Brothers in Vancouver. This was the NWA Vancouver version of the NWA Canadian tag titles. So on this date in 1971, 50 years ago today, Dean Higuchi, who would later become known as Dean Ho in the WWF, would team with Stephen Littlebear to regain the Vancouver version of the NWA Canadian Tag Team titles from the Skull Brothers. And the last piece of neat history of the night, as we head back just 5 years ago today, and on this date in 2016, as soon as I can find it here, a number of animes premiered on this date in 2016, 5 years ago today. Among those include two from Brains Base. Brains Base's Servamp and Cheer Boys premiered on this date in 2016, as well as Rotten Boys High School Life from EMT Squared. Hybrid Heart Magus Academy Ataraxia from production IMS, and Satellite's Scared Rider Zex. So those 5 animes premiered on this date in 2016, 5 years ago today. But with all that being said, that's all that I have for you on the history side of it tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know it seemed like a bit of a slower show tonight. We had some technical issues with Woody, but remember though, our next open mic night will be Monday, September the 6th, I believe.
Yep, September 6th, open mic night, Monday.
Yeah, the first Monday in September, which it will be Labor Day here in the States, and will also mark the 1-year anniversary for the Mikestand. So I hope you all will join us again for that, and I hope to see you all back here tomorrow night. So until then, bye.